Hi everybody. I don't know what I've accomplished today. Let's see, I better start out at 7:23:24. And this morning I did a video and I was a mess. That doesn't mean I'm better. But I am going to go out there and see if I can go for a walk. It's still hot. I mean, I looked just a little bit ago and it was still 92 degrees. But I need to walk some. I do need to get my strength up. And I've already gone through a lot of my stuff and donated it. And I imagine I'll still have some more to donate. I mean, like, I love that coat over there. But I'll probably never wear it. And boy, if you need a coat, it's beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to show it to you. I got my shades on, so I can't really tell how dark it is in here. I don't think you can see it. It's a heavy dude. Okay, so it's a trench coat. Okay, can you see it? Drop the glare. It's a trench coat, double-breasted, wool, and it goes down to below my mid-calf, okay? It's sharp. I really should be selling it online. That's what I should do. That was a thought. I might just have to figure out how to pack it up and do that. So I've got it by Friday after my appointments. I have to be out of here, I guess. I really wish I did not have to be out of here so soon. But then again, maybe it's for the best. You know, maybe I shouldn't be taking these damn treatments anyway. That's what I'm wondering. I'm really wondering because, you know, I've been listening to all these videos about starving your cancer. And they're not saying starve you. They're saying eat the right foods. Don't give the cancer what it wants. And that makes perfect sense, don't it? And then pretty soon, it'll melt away. I mean, that's what it looks like in the video. Dr. William Li, I'm going to plug him and plug him and plug him. And I'm looking up his books and trying to figure out how to buy them. But I just really want to buy the one, Eat to Beat Disease. And he's got another one, Eat to Beat Your Diet. All these diets out there. Now, I have an endeavor to look into that. Okay? So, we won't worry about that. A lot of people are dieting, though. And I need to do both. And I need to get rid of this big old belly. It might be that my liver's no good. I mean, I don't have a gallbladder, haven't had one for a long time. And that's what stores your bile and helps you with your digestion and all that stuff. So, you know, all these people are having problems because of the food we eat and what it does to us. And then it's like something plugs up a hole in the liver, between the gallbladder and the liver, or maybe in the gallbladder, I don't know. But if it's plugged, you're going to die. So they just take that sucker out. But I got a feeling we need that sucker, okay? Because digestion is where it's at. So what am I trying to say? You people out there right now, you know what would be a good thing? This is just Mary Lou's thoughts, okay? Because I found out after I had my gallbladder out and after I'd gone through 3 years of misery, you get gallstones and they plug the little tube up. Well, you can pass those stones with olive oil. Take some damn olive oil. You know, like they're saying you should have some every day. But maybe, you know, if you're having stomach problems and you're not sure what that is and you haven't gone in to get your gallbladder ultrasound or whatever, you know, don't wait till it's too late. And I wished I'd have known about that olive oil deal. I sure as heck would have been drinking some. You know, a teaspoon a day probably wouldn't hurt. But you could probably find something about flushing out your gallbladder. Flushing out gallstones. And I don't know about kidney stones, but you know, this gallstone stuff, that's going through your digestive system. And if it plugs up, you will die. And you turn yellow. And now I tell you what, I was throwing up bile, and it is a beautiful color. A beautiful canary yellow. Pure looking. That's the acid that eats your food. And it don't taste good. And it burns when it comes out. But it is beautiful, is what I'm trying to say. But the whole thing is, I think a little bit of olive oil every so often would be a good thing. And maybe you should look it up online if there's anything that's said about flushing out gallstones. Because they get stuck in that tube, okay? So grease them up a little bit and they'll go right through maybe. It's like your poop. Who wants to talk about poop? But if it's a little bit greasy, it's going to slide right on out. I didn't know I was going to say that. I'm sorry. That wasn't something I should have said. I have not smoked anything for quite some time, okay? And I just found I have a vape pen that I've had forever. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that little vape pen because it don't get you high, but it does if you haven't had any in a while. So maybe I'll have another hit and then we'll go for our little walk. And who knows what'll trip out of my brain. I should say out of my mouth, but you know, it starts in my brain. And I do have to learn how to drink water. Liquid. What they're saying is I have to have 64 ounces of liquid. They don't care what. And one person was telling me to, at the doctor's place, at the therapy place where they're giving me these infusions. Said I should have sports drinks. Said they don't realize I'm a diabetic type person too. Said no, you don't need to pour these carbs and sugars down you. But liquid. And then electrolytes. You do need electrolytes, so I've got to find out about that. Now, this last week I bought alkaline water, but I don't know if it's got electrolytes in it. I'll have to look that up. My glasses don't want to fit right. I need to go get them tightened up. Do the tighten up. And that is a song. I started to say a dance, but I always dance. If the songs are good, I be dancing to them. If I'm not sick. And my voice is still screwed, so yeah, I guess I'm sick. I gotta come and take some more, have one more dose of amoxicillin I need to take today. And I just really thought I'd go for a walk, but you know what, I want another hit now. I've been really good because family's here. And I'm trying to be respectful. And even like my best friend, Deborah, when I go to stay at her house, I smoke pot. Even just a little bit, but it opens up my head, and all of a sudden I'm blah, 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 talking a lot and losing myself too, of course. I have to lose myself. Now, so all these whatever videos I've done recently, there have not been any influences of that type. Although I do miss it. And it's good to go without for a while with people that are doing it. And the glasses are all crooked now. It's probably these things that are crooked. Okay. Yes, I do think I'm feeling better because I be singing. I be singing. And I be making jokes and I be spouting off poetry. Because I did that earlier. I said, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou my Romeo? Please, come around, man. Come around, do your thing. That would be so sweet. But anyway, that'll happen soon enough. I hope. So I'm going to get my little doodad. I've had it in my glasses case all this time. I'll show you while it's in the case. Let's see if you can see it. Can you even see that? No, you can't. Anyway, it fits in my glass case. I don't like just sitting it in my purse. It gets all dirty. Things get in the thingamabobber. And yes, that's a word. I don't care if you think it is or not. It's my word. All right, so there's a vape pen. You can see the liquid has been laying down. So the liquid is all up and down the top. But I've had that. I've had that forever. And I haven't been smoking it. I mean, I would not have had it forever had I been smoking it. But I found it the other day, and that's another reason to put it in the glass case away. To, you know where it's at, and you can find it, and it's big and bulky and stuff. All right, so here's a vape pen. That's a cartridge on the top, and the bottom is a battery. And let's see if it's still alive. I saw red, so I think it is still alive. So it's not illegal here. It should not be illegal anywhere, you people. Stupidity. You're robbing yourselves of God's gift. It is God's gift. And no, in its natural form, nobody's messed with it, okay? Now, everybody out there smoking, you bet you they're messing with it. Because there's these things called, I don't even remember what they're called now. But it's like an oily goop. And they'll, it's probably like Rick Simpson oil. And they will take and run it all over the bud. And they've got all the crystals off the bud when they put it through the trim machine, or when they've done something themselves. There's a lot of crystal on good weed. So the crystal's where the medicine is. The stuff that I messed with, okay? The stuff that I made, Rick Simpson oil. So they'll take that, what are they calling that, moon rocks? I think that's what they're calling it. So these buds have been through a trim machine, okay? So a lot of the crystal is off of it because there's a vacuum that's sucking the crystal as it's going to be in trim. Those nugs you got have been robbed. You go to the dispensary and you get something and it's in nug form. Where are the little sugar leaves? Where is all that crystal? It's in someone's machine, and then they've taken it and made other things with it. All right, so I don't know if they have something called butter, and I know there's those moon rocks. Let's talk about that. So you got your nug that's already had its leaves shaved off and part of its crystal is gone, and then you've got this. It's a golden color, and I'm not sure what they call it. And I have seen somebody make it with a solvent, one that you spray. And it's, okay, I use my hand. Big glass tube, stuffed full of sugar leaves and stuff, okay? And then they spray this, I don't know what it is they spray in there, but they spray this gas in there. And all of a sudden you start seeing all this golden color oozing down to the bottom of the tube and coming out because there's a hole down there. So it's like a big old joint, but it's not. It's glass. I don't know what that stuff is called. I've been away from things for 2 years. September will be 2 years I left home. And I was pretty good friends with, at one time anyway, I thought myself a good friend of this guy that, he had seeds from the 70s. Okay, and he had a lot of knowledge, and his dad had a lot of knowledge, and he was like 40 miles, no, he was less than 30 miles up the road, same road, just hit Highway 14 and go, and there's nobody out there. You just got a nice little drive. You don't have to go to the city. You don't have to run around trying to find an address or any of that crap. I hate going to Denver because there's so much traffic, and I was just waiting every time. I was wondering when I was going to crunch, get crunched by other vehicles. I have a phobia of that, and especially since I have not been in the city forever. I know I'm flitting around, so I don't really need another head. It's kind of nice. I like to hear my head. The talking heads, that's what I'm doing. I'm in my bedroom, and it's a mess. My bed is a mess, but it always is. But I think I'm on the tail end of things. Whatever there's left in the house, they can just take to their estate sale thing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's still lit up. What it means is the battery is active. What I did was a little while ago, I had a couple hits, okay? And in order to activate the battery, you have to click on that light. Where's that? This thing. It's a button that goes in, and you just push it 5 times. And on the 5th time, it lights up. And then the battery's active. and it stays active for a little while, but not really all that long. That's another reason to have the case. Protect it from something pushing on that battery and smoking your weed. You know, that lovely yellow stuff in there. Can you see it? That yellow stuff. That's kind of like what I was talking about that came out of that tube. But it's an oil. It's a thick oil. And it's good. Because I'm talking. And all I had was 2 hits. I'm going to have another one. Okay. But it heats this up here. Can't see nothing really that comes out. But there's a vapor that comes out. It doesn't feel harsh, you know, like smoking. And I really didn't think I got a very good buzz before with this, but that's because I was smoking too, you know. I remember going across country, okay? And you got states that are legal and states that are not. And you forget, when you're used to being legal, you forget that, hey, oh my God, it's illegal here. That happened to me. I just got a buzz and then we stopped. And who's in front of me but cops? And in a state where it's illegal, so I was freaking out. I need to fix these glasses. And I also need something to help cough up crap, so that's another good thing. It's an expectorant. If you are clogged up, take a hit. It will make you cough, which will make crap come out. So it's really a medicine for that. And it's a medicine for my head and for my thinking processes. I mean, I can ramble on, stoned or not, but sometimes it's just real interesting what comes out of my head. To me. I don't know about to you. Okay, so I know, I've already talked 17 minutes, so it's been a while. I believe that I did tell you it's still the 23rd of July. Today is Tuesday. So I don't know what's going to happen by Friday. But she did say that if I couldn't come in, then I could have a Skype appointment with my doctor. Because I want to talk to her. I want to talk to her about changing up my meds, or if I should. She ain't going to want to hear all that crap. But what I need to do is make the decision and then ask her to do it. Because she wanted me to do that in the first place. It's just that, you guys have to weigh all the circumstances. Weigh your age. Weigh your health. Because you already, like me, I already had cancer. I already got cancer. And that's a problem. And they want to eradicate it, right? Well, they're saying it's stage 4 and it's in my bones. Okay, but it's not in my organs, so that's a good thing. So here's what she said. She said, I can melt that cancer away, but then your bones will collapse. So what am I supposed to do? And then I did say to her, well, maybe we could do it. See, I remember this now. So maybe we could do it for a couple of months. Just to stop it. Stop it in its stride. I don't know the right expression, but that's the same thing. Stop it from progressing by, melting the cancer away like she talked about, but without melting it all away. Because it has to be something in my bones. So that's what this infusion is that I'm doing. I'm doing an infusion where I go in once a month and they stick an IV in me. And they run it for 30 minutes. I mean, it takes 30 minutes to go through. And I've done really well with it. I haven't had any problems like some people have a lot of problems. But that is for building up my bones. And that's the words I use. And so someone else said enforcing your bones. So I think the same thing. But it does make your bones soft at the same time while it's working. And you have to have, I should show you that pill, it's really good. You'll have to take my word for it. I'm not going to stumble around in there. But it's a big, long capsule. It's the longest capsule I've seen. And it has 1,200 1,200 milligrams of calcium and also 1,000 units of vitamin D3. And I have to have those two things. Those two configurations I need to go with my infusion. Okay, so you take the infusion once a month, And I think it might go to where I might be able to just do it once every 3 months. And then, what? I lost myself. Oh, then I have to make sure I take that calcium and vitamin D. It has to be in my system because that's what it uses to build your bones. So the infusion is this liquid, and I don't know how that works, but the infusion, whatever's in it, grabs onto it's kind of like a honeycomb. I just saw a honeycomb in my head, okay? You know, like the little bee is filling up the comb with stuff. You know, this whole, figure out the little configuration, like a stop sign and a honeycomb, and they're in there filling it up, okay? But without filling it up, that's what the bones probably look like. Holy, really holy. And they said I would collapse my bones. So what they're doing, I'm going to picture that. I think that's a good rendition. Picture the little honeybee filling all those little caves up with honey. And then we don't take it out. It's reinforcing the bones. It might not be rebuilding them. Maybe it's putting something in there that's going to make them strong. But that's a good analogy, a good way to look at that. And I hadn't thought of that until now. So tell me my stuff ain't good. I mean, really, it opens up your mind. I'm a good person, even if I like to smoke. So I'm going to have one more hit that I don't need. I can tell I don't need it. And then I'm going to take some water. I'm going to go outside, and we'll see what happens. And yes, you hold it. I don't care what they say. Some of them say don't hold it, okay? Like all those years ago, I would smoke weed and I would hold it as long as I could. But here's the deal. Where's it going? It's going into your lungs. And then what's going through your lungs? Your bloodstream, okay? And so how fast does the blood make it through your whole body? Pretty fast, okay? So I shouldn't even be saying all this stuff. This is bad. Don't do what I did, okay? Because I would hold it as long as I could, because that meant my blood was circulating through my lungs and through that smoke. And you cannot tell me it wasn't picking up some momentum and some steam and product, okay? Now what they're telling you these days is don't hold it in. All you need to do is take it in, and then it's gone. I don't believe that. Anyway, hold on a minute. Are you guys there? Let's see, it's upside down. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go outside now, go for a walk. And, Allie. No, I've already had enough of that. I'm going to put that down. Now, see, that's willpower, right? But really, I have had enough. So put you down, pick you up. I'm going to have a drink. And it's water that I'm drinking, okay? And actually, I have I opened up a soda earlier, and it's in the living room. But you know what? For the most part, I just drink water. I think it's probably the metformin. But sugar bothers me. And things that I like. And then also, sugar also gives me a headache. So, those things make you not even want that sugar. If I could just, and actually I can control it, because I am really good at not eating. But what you got to do is you got to know what's important to have in your body. And part of this I'm getting from my sister, and she's getting it offline. But the point is, I need to find electrolytes. I need to find things that she gave me a packet of a drink mix, and it had electrolytes in it, but it was too sweet. So therefore I got a headache. So what I've got to do is find a way to have flavor without sugar and electrolytes, because your body needs electrolytes. And then you can go without a lot of things. I mean, I know that I could do that fasting thing, not that you should. But see, like, here's one little tidbit. I don't want to go outside, it's hot. William Lee. I think you can lose a lot of weight this way, too. He said, if you eat around 7 or whatever time you eat, but if you eat around 7, and that makes sense, then you don't need to eat before you go to bed. What he said is you wash those dishes and you put them in the cupboard and leave them alone. After 8 o'clock, you don't eat nothing. Okay, so you can eat up to 8 o'clock p.m. And then you should go to bed really by 10 or 11. By then you haven't had the need for food. What I have discovered is that every 4 hours that I'm up, I get hungry. And I don't know, because I've been sick, I haven't ate. And because of all that's going on around me, I haven't been able to eat. So I haven't thought about it. I've been able to eat some, but I'm not going out munching and all that crap, which I don't do anyway. But here's the point. Put your dishes away at 8 o'clock. Do not have anything, except for maybe water, as far as anything to eat. No snacking, no midnight snack. That freaks with your blood sugar and all kinds of stuff. But if you go to bed, so say you go to bed by 11, that's the 3 hours from the time or it could be 4 hours if you ate at 7. So I think he did say 10. All I know is if you quit eating at 8 o'clock, and we're going to say 8 o'clock, then that's 4 hours before midnight. And if you get up at 8, so that's 12 hours already, right there, that you have not eaten. And your body's still working while you're sleeping. So it's taking what it needs, like those of you who are trying to diet. And then also the starving of cancer and the fasting, the intermediate fasting or something. I don't know a lot about that yet. And then he said, do not go straight for food. He says, what have they trained us to do? You go in and you have breakfast and hurry off to work or hurry off to school. But he's saying, don't get up and go straight for the food. Do stuff. Do whatever you got to do. Like brush your teeth, take a shower, la, 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 la. And then go and have yourself something to eat. So by then, you've at least got another hour. That's 13 hours. And it could be even more. The point is, watch what you're eating and when you're eating it. And my sister's doing some type of a fast, I think, where she just eats. She doesn't eat for it. This is my own thoughts now because I can't remember. But it seems like she said 18 hours. 18 hours straight not eating, and then she eats 1 meal a day. And she's also the one that's talking about the electrolytes. See, the electrolytes is what our body needs. And if we're starving our bodies, we need to have the electrolytes to function our organs and all that stuff. So that's important to know. I'm picking up a lot of different things, and if I share them with you, maybe I can share them with you before it's too late. And also who wants to be obese. I don't like having this big old gut on me. It's like I'm pregnant. but I haven't really been exercising, and when you just let it hang loose, it just kind of hangs loose, you know, so I got to tighten it up. I got to do the tighten up. That's where I was. I need to go out and walk. And then I'm going to talk to Papa Bear with Dad, or with Nathan. Damn it. My water is like slanted. I'm going to put you down and take some water. Pardon me. Oh my. Pardon me. Oh my. Okay. My water is gone because the ice takes up the room, you know, so when you put water in it, there's not that much there. I'm going to go out and go for a small walk. I've got to do some walking under my belt. I could just be showing you the house, but I'm not going to. I'll show it to you when it's, I don't know. No, really. Oh, let me get some water in here. We've got, I showed you this before, okay? You can get this for a decent price over at Walmart. And it's not a Brita, but it's the same thing. And then I can't remember what we paid for this. So when you go get an ice maker, see, the thing about this machine is I could take my Brita water and then I pour it in here. And then the ice that's made is out of the purified water. Our fridge kept having a problem. Now I need to put you down so I put some water in there. Okay. I know I'm a ramble on and a forget upon, a sometimer, and it does feel good to have a buzz. My mom. I really have missed that, and I have needed that. Dang it. Okay, guys. Yeah. By the time this week is done, we'll have our stuff out and Kevin can come and get everything. His name is Kevin Osborne. He's got a store, a secondhand store downtown in the old town part of Kennewick. And I don't know my way around, or I'd been down there. But you know, when you want to shop, you need to have a place to put stuff. And I haven't had a place in a long time. But downtown is a lot of secondhand stores, antique stores. Just fun stuff to go look at. Mother used to do that all the time. We'd just go down there and look. And sometimes you'd find something you wanted. Anyway. Oh, little girl, you left out. There's a dog in here if you want me to open the door. Okay. Brandy's going, I want my mama. I got a bottle of water. I'm going to just try to drink some. Not cold, but I don't care anymore, you know? Just need something wet. Okay, I'm a strange bird. It's okay if I say that. I'll probably be coming back in to get water before long, but I'm going to go out and go for a walk. I keep saying that, don't I? Watch out, Brandy. Oh, Teresa's out here. Is it okay if Brandy comes with you? No? I don't think so. That way you won't forget her. Oh, I'm gonna go for a walk, Misty. Okay. La 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 la. Well, maybe I'll walk further today because I feel better. And I got a buzz. You know, people are wrong about pot. I should clarify that. Because there's a hell of a lot of people who love pot. And those people got it going on. I'm not saying, see, there are things, safeguards, meaning we love how we feel. And that's what they don't want us to do, okay? Can't be doing that unless you pay me for it. And they're trying to figure out how to get all the money for it. When all of the American population could be growing their own if they wanted to. You don't have to, but if you grow just say you don't have a really great job and you don't have money and you don't have a house to live in and you can't pay your bills or put food on the table, okay? So you could set them up in little farms and then they pay you back. So you're not losing, okay? But these are thoughts just coming to my head right this minute. But look at all these houses, okay? All these houses are double-story houses. And they can have grows inside. And it shouldn't be illegal. Do it safe. And you don't do so many. And you might not want to do it in the house because I think the best pot is grown in the backyard. For benefit, the benefit of it is really strong. Outdoor pot is strong. And this indoor pot, and also the outdoor pot grows into a tree, okay? And so it's giving back oxygen to the air. It's cleaning the soil. And it's growing this great medicine that they're telling us we can't have unless we go through all these channels. Now, I will say that I was pleasantly surprised. Oh, that's a beautiful tree. I was pleasantly surprised when I went to the dispensary. Oh my God. It was, it smelled so good. And the weed was so good. And then they had prices for everybody. I know my glasses look all weird. I can't help that. I think I sat on my glasses the other day. It's easy to do. Where's my glasses? Oh, they're under your butt. Damn, that tree was pretty. I don't think you can see it. It's a real pretty tree that's got a white. It's white, like a quake. In other words, I used to go deer hunting up in the mountains, and there was a thing called the quakes, and they were white trees. But that's a beautiful white tree. The branches are white all the way up. I don't think you can see it, but I'm going to try to show it to you. See, I would be tempted to walk across this lawn and just look over the fence, but I don't think I should be doing that unless I ask them if it's okay. Oh my. It's been a stressful week. But you know what? It's all for the good. Things have to happen to make things shake, rattle, and roll. That's what I'm seeing. If I can look back, because it hasn't been fun. Let me tell you, I have been so stressed. Hasn't really helped my situation at all. But maybe it's good to be uprooted, because this has happened to me before. I needed to go somewhere and be somewhere in life. And I wasn't going on my own. So the tides that turn, that's what it is. Things happen. And sometimes you have no freaking choice. You have to, my dad and mom, and I guess my Uncle Del, opened up a propane company. Not opened up, they bought one in Perryton, Texas. And they needed a secretary and someone to work in the shop to do everything, actually, because that's what I did. Everything. The salt board delivered propane. I filled up propane. If they came in, I filled it up. I did the bookkeeping. I did everything. And I didn't have a computer, people. I had to deal with a railroad commission and what was it I'm looking for? Inventory of a gas that changes. It changes like a damn ghost, okay? Because propane, you can only fill a bottle 80% full, because it's got to have room for expansion. And not just only that, the expanded part is what you are using. You're using the gas, the vapor that comes off of it. So you don't want to fill it up too full, you people. There was a bunch of people doing that, thinking that was the right thing to do. How stupid. Because you have to run on vapor. Otherwise, you're using liquid. And that is geared for the liquid to turn into vapor. Okay? And the reason I'm getting excited about that is because, it's a safety hazard for one thing. Yeah, nothing like trying to use gas, and what are you getting but liquid, which is a concentrated form of an explosion. Those barbecue grill bottles, 20-pound bomb, man. So I'm just kidding. I'm not just kidding. I'm just excited when I talk about such things. Because what happened was, we had that propane company in Perryton. And we had customers that came in with these rigs, these oil rig units. And on the back of the truck was two 250-gallon tanks. And they were tied together. They're on top of each other, and the gas is tied together. And they're supposed to be running on vapor, people. But what do? They want to fill that sucker up. And they would get mad at me because I would not do that. And I don't know that I really understood all the reasonings of the rules, but I just followed the rules. Because I knew it was a fire hazard. Oh my God. There's been a lot of fires and a lot of people burned. So you need to treat it with respect. But in order to do that, you really need to know what you're doing, because you really shouldn't lay a barbecue grill bottle on its side. Okay? It should stand straight up and down. And definitely if you're using it. Because if you're using it, then there you are using liquid. And it's screwed. And it can be a fire hazard. So, the reason I'm saying that is there were several places that burned. And these oil rig trucks came in, getting all mad at me. So then they did start using somebody else. Okay? So what do? They have this big old long garage for all these oil rig units. It was open-ended. And they weren't getting their gas from us anymore. And they burnt that sucker down. All the oil rig trucks and the garage. Okay? Wonder if they ever thought about Mary Lou after that. Stupid people. And sometimes, I would say sometimes it's ignorance, but that is ignorance. Shouldn't have done that. These weeds need to be gone, and I was about to pull one. I could see myself pulling it. I want to go to this door and ask these people about this car. I need transportation. And it's just sitting there. You know what? My bank. What does my bank tell me? They send me this thing telling me that I can use them as a car buying tool. And so then I call them up and I try to buy my dad's car. I wanted to get a loan to buy my dad's car. We only give loans to dealerships. So what the heck, man? If I could buy my dad's car and get it for a lot cheaper because he made a deal with me. He made a deal with me. But I don't have the money. Or I would buy my dad's car. So I need to find a place that'll loan me some money. And I gotta think about that. That's a thought, isn't it? Okay. Things came to my mind, but I'm going to keep this one to myself. But it is a thought. But I'm just saying, I called my bank to try to get a loan to buy my dad's car. Nope, can't do it. Probably send me these tempting things. So if I go out to a dealership and buy a car, then they'll give me a loan. But then I really don't know if I'd qualify. they might take a chance on me since they're sending it to me. And they're sending it to me in an email from my bank account. So, but I did have a good thought come to mind. So I'll have to think about that. Thank heaven. And no, for little girls get prettier every day. Then I don't know the rest of it. I just popped into my head. And it was because of Thank Heaven. And then it was because it was a song. La, la, la. You know, my daughter sent me this text real fast the other day. It took me by surprise. And I did take it wrong, but still. She wanted to know some karaoke songs. And she didn't give me all the details, you know. She just wanted some karaoke songs. And since I'm probably going to go see them here before long, you know, a month or so down the road, what came to my mind is because I would love to do that. You know, be able to sing the songs. And that's what they do at her house. Like when I was there 2 years ago, they were doing karaoke. And that would have been so fun. But I didn't know the words. I didn't know, you know, if you could practice the songs and stuff. And I would love that. So I have to do that. La 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 la. La 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 la. No, I have not trained my voice. I'm a copycat, like I've said before. If I hear the song or they play the song or we do the song several times, then maybe. My memory sucks. So far it seems like songs come out real easy. Let's see how tall that tree is. I know I say that every time. It just amazes me. I've been living on a place where they don't have any trees. Look at that tree. See, that's a 2-story house. What was that? I didn't touch nothing. Sometimes my phone makes noises because I've done something, I guess. Matilda, how are you? You know, people would probably think I'm crazy. I'm just doing this as a game, okay? Because I do know people who have talked to trees. I know that sounds weird. But I'm coming up to Miss Matilda. I'm going to come touch her. I haven't done that. I'm going to touch her. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm like petting her. Okay? I'm petting the tree. That is a trip. And that felt weird. I'm going to do it again. It's going to go up under here or over here. See, they're prickly. They're prickly. But if you just rub across them, you know? So I just touched her. I'm going to call her a her. She might not be. All right, little girl. Say hi. I know I'm asking too much when there's no wind. Thanks for being on my film, okay? You are a beautiful tree. I appreciate you. La la la. I think I was just down here. I don't think I made it past Matilda. So now I'm circling around again. My lips are really dry and my skin wants to peel off. And it's bothersome because then I try to grab it with my fingers and peel it off, and you know what happens, right? You peel your skin off and it hurts. And then you get a raw edge. So yeah, I guess I should do like my dad. My dad always has chapstick on him or close by. My lips are driving me crazy. All right, let's see the flowers. I probably already showed you. There's marigolds and petunias and more marigolds. I can't remember the name of that. More petunias. Wonder, they must have a sprinkler on a timer. I'm not gonna walk on their grass, although she'd probably let me. Just showing the beautiful pictures, you know. Flowers. Flowers. I do like that song. I don't want to leave you. And I remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, saying things that I don't understand. And then I don't know the rest of the words. Do, 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 do. Something about holding her hand. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Well, it's getting dark, but I do have shades on, so maybe it's not as dark as it looks. And yes, I don't have my teeth figured out. I did make an appointment to go to the dentist and have them work on them so that they didn't hurt. You know, the top does. It fits up in there really good. But the problem is, my gums are here, and they've got the teeth out here. It would be like trying to, I don't think I can chew like that. But maybe they did it the right way, and I just don't think he did it right. And I've waited a whole year. But if they can help me get them to be comfortable, then I'll start wearing them. The top wasn't bad. And I could get it to suck up in there and not without anything. You know, but the bottom, that's another story. And so the first time I put the bottom in, I had too much of that glue. I could not get them out. Okay, and then, so another time I tried putting them in with very little glue, and maybe that was the problem. Because when I tried to eat, your tongue is in there moving around. It's just a weird sensation to have these things on your mouth. But I think if I got used to them, it wouldn't be like that. But the problem is they still look like they gave me buck teeth, where the teeth are sticking out and the gum is in here. And that's not right. I know it's not right. Anyway, I do know I have put the top in, and it does get rid of the wrinkles. And I would look a lot better with the bottoms in because it will stretch my jaw out. But, you know, I have bigger fish to fry is the way I look at it. But that, my beauty is something I should think about too. I haven't done that. I am a beautiful woman. You just can't see it. Which is a sad little thing. Because when you don't care, you just really, you get to that point you don't care. It's not important. So that's another way I've screwed up. It's been a lot of things, just from my decisions early in life. So those decisions are important. Most important choice. I don't know if it's in that same paper, but I said something like, be careful what you do today. Because it'll come back to you. I said, be careful what you do and say. It will come back to you. But the decisions you make today affect the rest of your life sometimes. So especially the one, I said the most important choice. That's the name of the paper. And then you just put on, lose, touch. And it should pop up. And you'll see my face. I wrote that paper years and years and years ago. Spurred on probably by a conversation with a girlfriend who was going through hell. I mean, I had already been through my hell. And she was going through a fresh hell. Because, you know, with that leaping of faith and combining your life with someone else, you take the chance of trauma. You take the chance of the opposite of what you're after. You know, love. In the beginning, especially when you're young, all you're caring about is that you just got those feelings. And these people look so good to you. I mean, I can remember that. I'd call me hot to trot. I'll lose my voice. I shouldn't do that. I do remember, though. I was young. I was fearless. I saw somebody I liked. This was after being married. What was it? I already told you the time. Oh, I didn't give you that video. My first marriage, okay? I got married a week after I turned 17. And I had my daughter at 22. And 6 to 8 weeks, no, 4 weeks, maybe even 3. Sorry about that. I found out I was getting a divorce, okay? My husband hadn't been around. He was acting weird. But I didn't realize what was going on. And yes, our marriage just really wasn't never any good because he didn't feel like he loved me. He loved me, but he didn't love me. You know what I'm saying? And later in life, he regretted that. But you can't go back. So those choices are important, what you do. Because I had my child. I was 8 months pregnant when I found out I was getting a divorce. And not even that. It was probably, because what I did was I quit my job. I had a really good job, and I was offered a promotion. They wanted to put me in lead on machine operators. I would have been making a frickin' bloody fortune now, okay? I was making $1.90 an hour when I started that place. But I worked there 5 years. And I'm 8 months pregnant. And I'm finally going to quit my job and go home. Not take maternity leave, but go home and be a mama. That was the deal. But what happened? Another ambush. Motherfucker, excuse my mouth. He's got me in the car. We're going to his parents' house. And I've got this big old belly. I'm big and pregnant. And you know what he's telling me? That he's got this other woman. And that he's leaving me. And he wants a divorce. And he's on his way with me in the car where I can't escape to his parents' house. So we're going to go into his parents' house. And I've just heard this news. Do you think that's very good? Little scaredy cat. Probably should have been scared. So I would have never hurt you. I would probably just bawled my eyeballs out, but I can't believe you did that. See, now I just remembered that. Rotten person. You really have been mean to me. And you're not the only one, but you started it. You should have never married me. You should have let me be free. Instead, you were a wuss. I started to say something else. You know, like get up the courage and tell her you don't love her, or tell her that you don't want to get married because you're just not sure. Be honest. So you people out there that are playing with other people's feelings and what they're doing with the rest of their life, stop it. You know, if you're not sure that you want to get married to somebody, don't do it. And don't bring children into the world. Not under those circumstances. And don't make a woman like me, who's in love with my man. Oh man, I'm just way over the hill, over the top. And he is not. But he didn't tell me. Said he married me and let me live a life of rejection. That's what it was. He didn't tell me he loved me. Very rarely. He told me he loved me the night I got pregnant with Jessica. I'm sure of it. Because he never told me that. And he did. But it doesn't matter. You know, your feelings go up and down. You're just not really sure what you're doing. That is the deal. Gather up your courage, man. Don't mess with someone else's life when you're not sure. Put me through hell. Because romantic rejection His dad told him not to wear it out. So Kevin took that for reals. You know? So he's got a woman. He's just married. Should be all over her, but he's not. And he's making me go without, and he's not telling me why. So he's making me feel rejected all the time. I cried myself to sleep so many nights. And I'm only telling you guys this stuff because it's real. Don't go out there and go thinking you got to get married unless you're in love. And you don't got to worry about being an old maid. Hold yourself tight to yourself. Don't be giving yourself away. And I talk from experience. I mean, I did be with my man, or what I thought was. Was married before it was all done. When the divorce was final, it was 6 years. And I went out with him 2 years before we got married. So that's 2 and 6, that's 8. And then all the years after to try and get over it. It's how many years he fucked with my life. I'm telling you, buddy. Telling the world, don't mess with people like that. It's not right. It is not right. I had the wrong life. I could have had a wonderful life. And it was robbed from me. We were kids. I have to add that factor in. We didn't know nothing. And even grown-ups don't know nothing. That's pretty. I'm going to show you the purple. And all through there's purple. And then as they get bigger, that's just going to be gorgeous. So they must have a timer. First husband took all those years. And all it took was another year. I stayed single. I stayed home alone, taking care of a baby for the first year. Yeah, I was young and vital. Vibrant, I might say. Quite beautiful. Just didn't know I was that beautiful until later in life. I was gorgeous. But I just wasted my life away in the service of other people, and not a good service. No, because when you get married, geez, I wanted to go to work, okay? So in order to go to work, I still had to do everything at home. I had to do everything that I had to always do anyway as a housewife, plus work 8 hours a day, come home and make meals, fall asleep on the couch because you're so dead tired, and still have rejection from your man. How stupid was I? I mean, I knew we were separating when I was 19. So that's when I had a miscarriage. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I was lifting weight all day. I was emotionally upset all the time. So here we are. I mean, I took, let's see, that's not that time, that's at the end. That's weird. Okay, I'm trying to remember, because when I miscarried, I was working at a candy factory. That's where I was lifting weight, standing on my feet all day, lifting weight, time after time, picking up stuff, and not eating, and emotionally upset. But there was another job that was there that had to have been at the end. See, I got a little confused there. Do that all the time when you're trying to conjure up your memories from so long ago. So I met my second husband shortly after I started going out dancing. You know, I put out the bait and someone catches you. Anyway, I love dancing. And there was a bar just down the street. Not down the street, but down, it's less than a mile or two away. And it was just down the street because State Street was in my backyard. That's what it was. I lived close to State Street. So all you had to do is go around the corner and then up the road a piece, and there was a bar. So I stayed home, and I didn't do any of that stuff for the first year. And then I went out. So what the hell, you know? He's not coming back, and things are never going to work out, and all kinds of stuff like that. You know, why am I sitting here? So I did. Start going down the street. Just a little place, but it did have live music. And then I met my second husband, Jonathan Leo Kovacevic. Wonder if you're still alive, buddy. Anyway, he fucked me up too. Big time. See, I talked about all this stuff on a video the other day I was going to put on here, but then I decided not to give it to you. Because you don't need all that stuff. And other people might not want other people to know all that stuff. But you know what? It's the truth. And it happened to me. All right, Matilda. You know, wave. Giving you a second chance. You almost look like you are. She's a pretty girl, pretty tree. But she's not gonna wave because it takes the wind, I know. That would be so funny if she reached out and touched me, wouldn't it? Stranger things have probably happened. Well, I've been walking quite a while. Over 30 minutes, I know, anyway. So I probably should stop before long. It does help to get that little buzz. And to have your juices flowing. Your brain a working, and your mouth too. And to have some thoughts. Sometimes you don't want those thoughts to get out there, and they're there. They just fly right out of my mouth. And evidently they're wanted because it's the same as I did the other day. So far I talked about my third husband too. What a waste of my life. All of them. But I guess I learned things. They held a place in time, but it wasn't a good one. Turds. Now beware the charmer. My second husband charmed me. I'd be working night shift. He'd make food and bring it to me. Because I did, you know, it's lonely when you're alone and you have had someone, even if they weren't very good. You know, in other words, in the loving department, as in actually loving you, taking care of you, not rejecting you. And I'm not talking about only sex. I'm just saying there's all kinds of things. He thought I could be his servant because that's the deal I made. I would still take care of the house. And then he thought that was what I should do. Instead of helping me. I'm supposed to be his servant? No. And the reason I went to work was because he was bitching and moaning that I wasn't dusting the house. I mean, he would come home and look for things to get mad about. So you think I want to stay there and be his housekeeper? So no, I went to work. I had no money, but that was in my mindset. My mindset didn't let me allow myself to have what I deserved. I should have been his queen. You put your woman up on a pedestal and you take care of her. You don't reject her. That is not a marriage. And yes, I hope he gets his karma. I shouldn't wish that on people, you know, because it is true. You need to be careful because someone will be out there taking care of it for you. And then you're responsible. So be careful what you wish on somebody else. And karma comes back on you. My back hurts, so I'm going to have to go in. I think my brother's probably going to call before long with a FaceTime with me and Dad. But he might be eating, or he might just be watching Heartland. They got Alexa down there. I took Alexa down there. But they got it set up on Nancy's account because it was going through Austin's account. And we didn't have a password. We couldn't do anything with it. And Nancy went ahead and put, I think she put Netflix on there so that Dad could watch Heartland. But see, yeah, if you watch BYU channel, it's free, guys. And Heartland, all of the videos of Heartland is on there. And you don't have to watch all, well, you might have to watch some commercials because they promote their own channel. But they're not making you watch all these other commercials about Medicare or anything. The commercials are for telling you what's coming up on the channel. You know, they're advertising themselves. And it's free, people. Just like that church library thing is free. Maybe I'll come in here and see if the light's on. I probably shouldn't eat anymore. They had stroganoff. Hi, honey. I had some of your stroganoff earlier. It's good. Well, whatever. So I'm trying to give her a compliment about stroganoff, but she didn't make it. She said Nancy did. So that's okay. The water's all fell over, so they must have put water in bottles. I had quit doing that. I have an avocado I need to go eat. So that's what I was gonna do. Maybe I'll do that. Instead of, yesterday, there's a salad in the fridge, but it's frozen. So I tried to find the pieces that weren't frozen and I cut it up with scissors so they were smaller. And then I put my avocado in there and then I'm going, oh, I bet there's tomato out there. So I came outside, I found a small Roma tomato and made a salad. I'll do that in a little bit because that stroganoff was good. It's tempting to go have some more. I might just do that. I'm in your way. I'm sorry, babe. I was just talking to myself. I talked to my channel, and then I talked to myself too. I think I might go get some more of that stroganoff. Have you checked your salad today? Okay. Well, I had some of it yesterday.
There is dressing in there, and there is.
I know.
There's three things of the stroganoff.
I had an avocado. Well, I know that's really good.
But some's in the baggie and then a couple are.
Yeah, I saw that. There were 2 containers and a baggie. Yeah. And there might be more than that. I don't know. But I was talking about the salad. Remember, it's kind of frozen. But I pulled some out and cut it up with scissors. And then I put my avocado in it. And then I found a Roma tomato, a small one. It was really good. And this is my dinner from the other night. We'll see about having that later. Well, maybe I'll have some more stroganoff. That was really good. And I've gone for a walk, so that's really good. Huh. I guess I could pull my hair out from under my ears. And see this thing in my ears making it stick out. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have some more stroganoff. It's really good. And yes, I'm eating too much of it. I've got an avocado I want to eat because they don't stay good for long. So I got an avocado that's perfect, ready to go.
Something's better than nothing, right?
Okay. I'll come in here for a minute or two and let them do their thing. I'll probably get off here soon because we're over an hour. We need to learn how to do short videos, right? Short little videos, and then I'll have a lot of views. Take my glasses off. A song is in my head, Flowers. Hold my hand. Do 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 do. I can love me better. I can love me better, and that is the freaking truth. It's the sad, sad truth. You know, there's some good guys out there. I just haven't had one yet. Really. A lasting, you know. Joe he tried to be romantic in the beginning, but it didn't take long before he wasn't. And really, his head was into sexual gratification continually. Well, you know, if you're not taking care of your woman ain't gonna last. She ain't gonna be wanting to give you all that crap. It's a two-way street. It's very much a two-way street, okay? So, sex can only go so far. You need love. You need love and attention and sweetness. And put your love up on a pedestal. Take care of her. Instead of what I've had. Me and Joe tried. But life went on and things changed. And his loyalties changed. Big time. I saw him turn into the neighbor. And the neighbor is not someone I would choose to have. And so there I am with this guy that's turned into the neighbor. Because some people, they just gravitate and then they just take on the characteristics of their friends. Sorry, I didn't marry that man. I don't love that man. I hate that man. Really, I hate him for what he did to my husband and what he did to my life. Don't think you didn't affect my life. And don't think that I don't know, because I do. I'm not blind and I'm not stupid. And I've been around the world. And even in my own little places, I've been around the world, is what I'm telling you. Haven't been out in the world, and I haven't been across overseas and all that good crap. I've been around, though. I know a lot. And it was thrust upon me. When I got married, I had intentions of forever marriage. Because that's the way I was taught, that's what I believe. But you know, when you're with someone who doesn't love you, no. You don't have to stay in that. You want to find love, though. You don't want to be out looking for sex. You need to keep your body to yourself. And you only give it to the one you love. Totally. Not someone you're attracted to. I mean, you know, me and Joe, that's what we did. We did settle. We absolutely did settle. We were tired of going without sex. We decided we liked the way each other looked. And we wanted to build a life together because we didn't have anything else going on. That's really what it was. So yeah, I liked the way he looked. He liked the way I looked. We had sex and sex and sex and sex. But that ain't love. I want love. I need love. And then the wonderful sex will come along. But it takes emotion. Anyway, so I probably should shut up. I've said way too much. And if I knew how to edit, I do know how to make shorts, and so that's what I should do. I need to make little shorts. But I did say out there that, you know, sometimes it takes someone to uproot you. And it can happen in bad ways, but at least it's getting the job done, right? Like, and I mentioned that. I started to tell you about that. I was talking about Texas, the propane company we bought. Well, I was uprooted. I had been busted for bullcrap, for my kindness. In return for my kindness, I got busted, and then I got evicted. And I had to move, and I had nowhere to live. And I didn't tell my mom and dad, but someone else in my family did, so I'm glad. I had already gone to school and become a secretary. And then mom and dad went to Texas, and they needed a secretary. And someone told them I was about to live in the streets. So, you know, dad swooped down and got me. Now, he did it as a favor to me, but I also helped him. He had 2 motorhomes down in Vancouver. I drove one back to Texas, and he drove the other. They were renting them out through this other company. And so they took them to their propane company and rented them out. So they needed a driver, and they needed a secretary. So even though they were helping me and they did wonderful, I helped them a lot too. I mean, it's always been that way. And I just don't think people even know or appreciate what I've done. I did a lot, but I also learned and I did well. I didn't make money, but I learned a hell of a lot. And I had the experience. I was afforded the experience, even though it was a lot of work. You know, I wouldn't have had that experience in Vancouver because it would take someone's great faith to hire me. Not that I was a bad risk. All you saw on my resume was that I worked 6 months here, 6 months there, 6 months here, 6 months there. I was always trying to stay home and be a mama. That was what I wanted to do when I had my child. And that was ripped out from under me. Not cool. Not cool at all. So, you never know what's going to pop out of my little head. There's a whole lot of stuff in there. And I haven't watched all my videos. I bet I didn't send that either. I told a lot of stories in a video I made the other day, but then I threw it away. There were a lot of them. But anyway, I guess I should shut up. It's been a long video, huh? You gonna live, Bubba? No?
What?
Are you okay?
No. I will be okay.
Okay.
I drink.
He's got a problem, a major problem with allergies and his food sticking in his throat and stuff. Because his throat swells up. Anyway, so let's just forget about that. It's just I told him a lot of experiences I had on a video the other day, and then I decided to not let you have it. So now I don't know if I've given it to you or not, because I talk about different things on different things. But I told some experiences I had, and they weren't necessarily good. And I told a lot of things, my goodness. And I threw it away. How dumb. I should have just put it out there anyway. You never know. Like I said, I know I said it just a little bit ago, you never know what's coming out of my head. And I don't either. So a lot of times I'm listening to myself talk. I'm talking to me, because that's what I see is my picture in that screen. Okay? So I'm talking to me. And I'm talking to you too. And then I forget you're there. I'm just talking to me. Because I always have talked to myself for a very long time. Because I've been alone. I might have done it before that. I made up songs when I was 5. But maybe all kids do. I'd be out swinging in the yard and making up songs and singing away. And one of the things I did when I was like 3 and 4 years old, I was up on the porch with a fake guitar out there singing away and a microphone. And I was a little kid, man, and we didn't have TV. So where did I pick that up? I was just up on the porch performing. Because normally it's what you see that you do. Anyway, I know I've talked a long time. I might want to shut up and maybe I'll start again. Because I am. When I'm feeling good, I do like doing videos. I was going to go make me some more food, but I really don't need it. It's just that it's so good. And maybe I do need to store up, eat a lot so my body has something to partake of. Because then I'll go a day or two without food. I'm not very good. I need my husband. But one that can take care of me. And that can handle me. Because I'm a trip. So hopefully something good will happen. I'm going to say goodbye.